I had a kid and I didn't want him to live the life that I lived. So just knowing that you had a vision and I knew you were going to succeed, we just went for it.
Welcome everyone to A Seat Worth Taking. Today we have a special guest, Aleishea Cordero, somebody that means a lot, has been through the journey with me from day one till now and forever.
It's been amazing to see how it's grown, how Royal Studio has grown, how Kevin has grown, and how our relationship and our family has grown.
What made you just completely go 100% like, hey, this is what we're doing?
I would say because I trusted you. So when you told me what your vision was, when you told me what your idea was, I was all for it. Because I know once you set your mind to something, you was already going to do it. It was hard. You know, we had the baby, we had King, we had school. So trying to navigate being supportive to you, but being a mom, and then also trying to navigate the growth of myself. It was a lot to balance, but it worked out.
So on the business side, right? Do you remember how we got the name? And remember the different names we tried out?
No.
First was King's name, and we're like, no, that's too manly, too masculine. Remember that?
Yeah, because you wanted to do the salon too.
Yeah, we wanted to do the salon more diverse, more
Yeah.
welcoming all around. And then we tried, I think it was something with like a luxury type of name, and we're like, nah, that's like paradise or something like that. Like, no, like we're not doing that. And then the name came. I don't know if you remember. It was through Royal, with Crown Royal, the actual liquor. You know what I mean? And from there we put studio because we wanted to make it a place where people can come in, learn, develop, and grow. And then the color, right? The color was something we wanted to put together. Over the time, though, I know we came up with different color schemes on the business, and now we settled to this other different color, which is kind of like our set thing. Uh, the growth on that, like, what was your vision helping out? You know what I mean? On those things with the shop.
I didn't really have a vision, I would say. My thing was what did you need? What did you want me to do? What did you need? How can I turn what was going on inside your head into reality for you?
Mm-hmm.
Was more so what I was going for. I never dreamed of owning a barber shop or a salon, so it was more so what's in his head, how can we get it on paper, and how can we turn this into what you're seeing. And I think that's kind of how we went with it.
Yeah, just yeah, because that's something for me. It worked, right? Like I have all these ideas and I'll write them down or I'll put them somewhere, but I get to this spot where like, okay, how can I now bring it together?
Yeah.
And I think that's where me and you, over the years, we've grown, but like that's where we kind of really were able to make this stuff flourish.
Yeah.
How was your first 3 to 5 years within the business? How was that for you? Because we were all growing, right?
It was awful. Just like it was a mix. It was we had our good times, we had our bad times, but it was more so this is a lot harder than what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And we were young, we were juggling becoming newlyweds, we were juggling a new baby, we were juggling a new business. I had graduated college. It was a lot to try to navigate all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
But as we started going through the process and we started growing, it got exciting. It got happy. I saw how far we could go with it.
Yeah.
And I started becoming like actually a part of the dream rather than just helping on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, on mine, like you said, there was so much going on at once, and like just looking back at it now, it's like I don't even know how we did it.
Yeah.
Because just had a newborn, decided to open up a shop, working a whole bunch of hours, and trying to figure out each day how we went about it. And it was so unbalanced, but somehow we got through it, right? I think one of the biggest things that we did do in the beginning that really helped us out a lot was the communication with the visual stuff. I know like you said, you went to college and you graduated, and I know that was a big dream for you. But we also sat down, like, okay, what are we doing for the next 3 to 5 years, and how does that looks, and then the other next 3 to 5 years. And I remember I was expressing myself to you, like, hey, like, in order for this to work the way I'm envisioning, are you okay staying at home because I need to work at least 10 to 12 hours a day, even on my off days.
Mhm.
And at that moment, I know you said yeah, and you're okay with it, and it was a lot, right? But how was that when it started evolving? This in those 3 to 5 years.
Oh, staying at home.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was hard, but I was a mom, so being able to be with my kids every single day and watch them grow and not having anybody else raise them, that was important for me.
Yeah.
So it was more so, dang, I had a vision for myself, but this is more important right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a balance. As the time went on, it got a little bit harder because it's like they're older, and I want to do more stuff for me, but I wouldn't change it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I mean, right. Like, I wouldn't change none of it. Just we're at where we're at now.
hmm and we save some money.
Yeah, you're right about that. And that was the thing, right? We had those
Yeah.
conversations. We sat down, and I know one of your things was like, "Hey, I want to be able to sit at home with the kids and raise them." I'm like, "Okay, this kind of it's kind of working out. Like
Yeah.
your vision and my vision. Like, do I want to work every day all day? Like, no, I really didn't, right? But it was like something that we sat down and like, okay, like this does make sense to what we're envisioning doing,
hmm
which is like, you want to be at home and be able to develop the kids. If you did work, it's like, how can we make that work? We really could in a way, because we didn't
Yeah.
have nobody around, in a sense of like daycare, where to actually do like actual daycare, and that would have been
A lot of money.
a lot of money. It would have been the same if basically the hours you were working, we're putting it right back into
Yeah.
daycare. So we just made those sacrifices, and for me, like, I was cool with that, right? Because I wish I had that, what I mean, as a
hmm
kid, be able to have that. So when you mentioned, I'm like, yeah, we can definitely make that happen. Um, so with the shop, right? Let's pivot back to the shop. I've changed it what, like 3 times,
Yeah.
colors and all that. Uh, what do you think? Like, when we started, I gave you the vision then, right? And like where we at now. What was your thought process like from seeing the transition? You know what I mean?
Um, the transition didn't bother me. For me, it was more so think of what you want so we can, put it where we want it to go. I don't like to keep changing over and over again. But once you set your foot down, I was like, okay, this looks nice. I still don't like all the white and black. I want some life in there, like some wood and stuff. But it's coming along. We got the plants and everything, which is making it nice.
Yeah. Well, at first, we did almost like that tattoo theme, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was a bunch of art all over the place, like, tattoo shop. It was a bunch of art because I like art. You like art. It's creative. So it was like trying to find that was like
Balance.
that staple for the business. And it was cool, but then over time, a lot of shops started having that. I'm like, I don't like our business to look like everybody else's business. So I pivoted and cleaned it up a little bit. We went to from like, it was like yellow.
Yeah.
It was
Like
like
a
a
creamy
yellow. It was like
yellow
a creamy
color.
yellow, and then we went to like a light gray. Put less pictures up,
hmm
right? But then everybody started doing gray. I'm like, all right, now we got to switch it up again because I don't like that, you
Yeah.
know. Um, and then the white, like you said, like I did white and I took a lot of stuff off. And what happened was, um, we went up to see Tyreek,
hmm
and one of the conversations we had was about having kids with what's the word I'm looking for, special needs, or autism, stuff like that. When kids come into a place with a lot of pictures, a lot of things, like, in a place like that,
Stimulation.
it's stimulation. It overwhelms themselves. So when he was explaining that to me, that's why, like, we kind of pivoted from having a whole bunch of stuff to kind of clearing it up. And it
Mhm.
did help because we did have kids that have those deficiencies, and they've been able to kind of come around a little bit better and
Mm.
easier. And the white too, like the thing is, what I've learned with white, when you're cutting hair, you can see clear the haircut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you have a lot of stuff going on, I'm like this. You kind of get distracted. Your
Yeah.
eyes get distracted.
And it's more clean too because I remember although all the pictures and artwork were nice, we were dusting and cleaning and we took it down. The pictures were full of dust. So
Yeah.
it was less maintenance on our end with the cleaning aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. But we got the plants now. So just bringing life little bit by little bit into the shop looks nice.
Yeah. No, yeah. And again, like we went through this like phase of like
Hmm.
just trying to give that look, that image to the brand. And that's one thing when people walk in, like my vision at the end was like we want to make it look clean as possible. And when people come in, that's
Hmm.
that's one of the things they say, like, hey, this place is like
Look
clean and
clean.
it's nice and etc. Um so yeah, that was, uh the idea behind changing over and over again and
Hmm.
again. What about the the idea for me in the beginning was open up a shop, make it diverse, have 8 chairs, and we came up to a point where like 5 years after, like we're growing, everything's going great. Um, let's open up a second one. And really, that's when I think your creative side came into play because I was just thinking about just another barbershop. And this is like before COVID, right? We start talking
Yeah.
about it. And then during COVID, down the street from where we live, you seen the building and you said we need to go bigger. I'm like, I don't know about all that. I don't want to go big. You know what I mean? But you came up with this great idea because I kept talking to you about, hey, like we could do this, we can do that, we can kind of incorporate this, and you kind of put it together. And it's the Royal Studio that we have now. What clicked in your head at that moment? Like, okay, like we can kind of put this together. Like I call it, it's a hybrid place, right? You have the studios and you have a barbershop feel. What made you think of that?
I think just talking to you every day about like some of the issues you were going through at the shop, just some of the conversations that you were having with people who left. Some people didn't leave because they had issues. They just wanted their own space. They wanted
Mm-hmm.
to have their own identity in their own space. And I could understand that. So I was trying to figure out a way how can we keep the barbershop aspect, but then if they don't want that community feel, they want to have their own individuality, how can we do that too?
Yeah.
And when we saw that space, I was like, okay, we have the suites. Each person can design it how they want, be who they want, run it how they want, and we still have the barbershop, but everybody is still a community. There's
Mm-hmm.
braiders, stylists, nail techs, barbers, tattoo. It was a way for everybody to be themselves, but still have that sense of a shop because essentially we're still one shop.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody communicates, they learn from each other, they they've built relationships.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And like for me, I wasn't even thinking that big, right? Like to me, it was like, hey, let's open up another one. But it makes sense once you start explaining it to me, like, hey, we can do this and bring it together. I'm like, okay, like I'm not opposed to doing it. Let's just see
mhm.
how we can make this happen and make it make sense. And like the building was kind of really perfect
Yeah.
in a sense. Two doors, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
entrance wise, and then we had to build it out. But um, yeah, I wasn't even thinking that deep into it, to be honest with you. I'm like, it's either one or the other. But you figured it out, and I think it's dope because that is like one of the biggest things inside the shop now, right? In the business, like everybody still feels like they're in that collectively like barbershop or
Hmm.
salon feel, not just being by themselves in a room in a suite,
Yeah.
like private. Yeah, they people wanted that private suite, but they also want that team bonding
Hmm.
thing. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I think for me, like just like the first time we signed paper, I'm like, damn, we're about to do this all over again. Let's figure this out, and we figured it out. It
Yeah.
was tough. How did you feel with that situation? Because the first one was like I did it myself, right? I did it within like 2 months,
Hmm.
built it out myself. It was real simple, right? 1,000 square
Yeah.
feet and whatever. But the other one was a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
So, how did you feel with that? Because you also were more hands on with the building side of things and all that?
For this one, I was pretty much the general contractor for it, and that was hard. Um, yeah, it was hard because we don't know that stuff. So having to find plumbers and electricians and engineers and go through blueprints and approvals and stamps, it was overwhelming because if you miss something, then you have to start all over and find different ways to get what you need. And then time goes on and you missing deadlines. And it was stressful, but you learn a lot.
Hmm.
I don't know if I want to do that again. I will, we have to, but now that I know what I know, it's different.
Right.
But it was fun. I did like the whole aspect of almost having a clean slate. Like I built the floor plan, I found the materials. It was nice to be able to say, "Oh, I did this. This is
Yeah.
what I worked on." At the same time, it was not easy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things we like to do for some odd reason is just kind of like say F it and figure things
Yeah.
out and put ourselves in this stressful, our back against the wall, but we
Yeah.
figure it out all the time,
Hmm.
right? And I liked it in the sense of the journey part of it, right? We really got to learn who we really are as a couple, but also business wise, and like what's the limit
Hmm.
that we gotta have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The first one's like, yeah, you kind of helped out a little bit and did, here and there, but like this one's like, all right, like we can't cross this line,
Yes, a little much.
um, but yeah, it was something for me. It was something um challenging in the sense of the deadlines
Yeah.
because we had one place we were already leasing out, and then now we're coming to this other one where like deadlines are coming along and we have to start paying the lease for this one.
Yeah.
And what, it was like three months.
But I will say that the landlord that the landlord that we were with, he was amazing. I think it's because like he saw that like two young people were trying to make something,
Yeah.
and we were communicating with him and everything. So I think if we didn't have the community around us that we did,
Yeah.
it would have been a lot harder because
No,
we were
yeah.
missing deadlines left and right.
Yeah, I mean, it was like what, right after COVID, so everybody was trying to build from not just like the community side of things, but residentials people
Hmm.
were trying to build. So it was like our deadlines were just, it wasn't realistic, right? Like
Yeah.
people were so behind. I think it was like what, the city or something like that. It was supposed to be 30 days. It's been like 60 days.
We were missing deadlines like 90 days, 60 days, 30 days. Something got approved without a stamp, and then we had to go all over again. And yeah.
Yeah, and it was just wild at that time. My thing, I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel on that one. I'm like, this is done. Like
Yeah,
we're
how did you feel about that? Because this is one thing you didn't have your hands fully on all the way because we still had the other shop.
so for me, it was just so much going on, right? At once. We have one shop that's doing great, but at the same time, people are starting to venture off. I'm like, dang it, like it was great. I thought, the team was gonna stay solid, was going to grow, and we had like at least an extra year or two with that
Hmm.
team to, kind of keep that afloat. And then with the other one, it's like, okay, we have something big here that's gonna grow and develop. I know that, but where are we gonna where's the finish line?
Hmm.
Because there wasn't a finish line. The finish line we thought was like 3 months became almost not like 9 months.
Hmm.
And at the end, with all the obstacles, I'm like, you know what? Let me just do what I have to do and figure this out. Which was like working, what was like 3 months straight, whatever it was.
We were in there doing construction ourselves, which,
Yeah, I was sleeping like four
yeah.
hours a day for like 3 months,
Hmm.
and I don't know. For me, I'm like, I'm just gonna keep pushing until something happens. And I think that's just like when stuff started getting approved. It's when I started seeing like the relief, and then
Hmm.
obviously, like you said, the landlord like seeing what was going on. It was funny because the landlord was randomly caught me on a Sunday there or Monday. I think it was Sunday, and it was just me in there, and I haven't talked to him at all this whole time. This was like 3-4 months already into this,
Hmm.
and I showed him around the business, like the building what we've been doing, and I think that's what gave him like, oh, like they're really trying to make this happen, and that's when he contacted you. It was like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll get back on this. Just finish whatever you guys have to
Mhm.
finish. And again, like those little pointers were like, well, I'm like, okay, like I'm stressed the hell out, but there is a little bit of light now.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just honestly, I just felt like I just kept climbing up, but I couldn't see like anything. It to the point where I was just mentally drained. I was just mentally, physically, everything. It was just I felt like I just woke up and did it again and again and again, and like it was just a never-ending dream at this
Yeah.
point. But yeah, how I felt about it was I was exhausted, stressed the hell out. Had a couple of episodes of anxiety, but I was just I don't know, in my head at that point, like that's part of it. I'll figure this out over. You know what I mean? Like not thinking of how unhealthy it was.
Mhm.
You know. But yeah, that's how I felt at that time
Yeah.
with it. Um, and then from there, right, we got the place rolling. We opened a business, and the cool thing about the second location compared to the first one, it was just a lot of people that mashed to what we, you know, like the vibe that
Mhm.
we go for, like chill, relax, everybody do their thing, but respectful,
Yeah.
Um, and I think the cool things too that when we opened up, for me was like when I seen it in front of me, it was like all women, and I like that too.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I think sometimes people get this stigma of like, oh, barbershop or owner, like it has to be all masculine and all this stuff. It's like, no, girls can cut hair. That's part of my vision too with the first one.
Mhm.
But just being able to put that together and putting it visually there, physically where people can see it was
Mhm.
pretty dope. Um, how do you say the last, what, 3 or 4 years now? How you think that has been with this location?
I think it's been good. Um, those first like 2 years, I think it was almost trying to get our name out there. Like, hey, this is who we are. A lot of people knew us from Middletown, but nobody knew that we were opening and where we were.
Yeah,
And now it's almost like without as much promotion, people are finding us and they're coming in, or they're, hey, we didn't know you were here, and we go to this skyline all the time.
yeah,
So seeing that people are starting to know who we are and identify the shop and coming in, and sometimes you meet people you've never seen before and they're at a restaurant and like, oh, we know you, we went to the shop. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
yeah,
So seeing that the community is starting to know who we are.
yeah. And it was tough, right? It was right after COVID, so people weren't really going out as
Mm-hmm.
much. So it's like a weird time because people were going out, but weren't going out for certain things. They
Yeah.
were just going out for what they needed or what they wanted. And then with the first, like you said, the first year or two, I think for me was just finding out a way where it was more organic than the first one because we promoted a lot the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people knew us because we grew up there. That's where we're
That was our
from.
community, like that was our
Yeah,
home.
this one's like a whole different community, which is dope because everybody has embraced us from like the schools
Mm-hmm.
to everybody from the businesses around.
I mean, even our own neighborhood.
Yeah, our own
Like,
neighborhood.
mm-hmm.
Um, it's crazy to see the different of things when you open up one location to the second one.
Yeah. And I'm grateful for the some of the sweet owners who came in, and when we haven't even opened yet, and they had saw the vision and they were like, yeah,
Yeah.
because they bring in their own clientele, and those clients got the word out,
Mhm.
and that's when we started seeing a good flow. Because if I don't think if the ladies who came in would have saw the vision,
Yeah.
we would have had a good start like we did. It would have
Yeah.
been a lot more, hey, we need to send out more money to promote, we need to do this, we need to do this.
Mhm.
But for us not to have opened our doors yet, and we had what, like six,
Four
four or
things,
five,
four,
yeah,
4 to 6.
suites filled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without even opening up, it was a blessing, and they were hyped about it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. It wasn't just like, oh, let me just get a spot so I can,
No.
because that's what happens a lot of times too, right? When you interview or you get people coming, I just want a spot to do my thing. It's
Yeah.
like No, they're more like, oh, this is dope. I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
How can we contribute? What's, you know?
They came in, they helped clean some things, they decorated their suite, they took videos. They made it like that whole shop was theirs,
Mm-hmm.
which really helped.
Yeah. And that's part of our goal with this one was
Mm-hmm.
like, in the first one too, right? Like make your own, but like having your private suites, like make it feel like you're at home if
Mm-hmm.
that's what you want to feel like, you know what I mean? Or your studio, your
Mm-hmm.
suite, whatever it is. And again, it's cool to see now 4 years later, like that's how some of the not some, I think everybody really, I'll say everybody
Yeah, everybody.
has that feel of like this is mine and I'm gonna develop it the way I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which we also like. I think it's just us being creatives helps out
Mm-hmm.
compared to like the corporate side of things. Like, oh no, we gotta stay by this because it's all about our image, and you know, blah 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 blah. We're like, no, like the image is this, right? It's just be clean, you know, be respectful,
Yeah.
be professional, and have fun. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
Compared to other places, you got to do this, you can't do this, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's been the dope journey, just being able to evolve over and over time. Do you have any questions?
Do I have any questions for you?
Yeah.
How have you felt throughout the this many years, what, 11, 12 years
Yeah.
of being a business owner, being a husband, a parent, like parent, all that
Hmm.
stuff, because you took a lot on your plate. I was staying home, so it was you had a lot.
So for me, at first, right, until recently, until like a year ago, like I really didn't sit down and like thought about that. My things, like I've told clients before, is like I just gotta wake up, tie my shoes, and go. Like I'll figure things out, whatever. I knew it was a journey. I like going through ups and downs because that's what helps you grow. Like I never see you don't lose at anything you do in life. You just another lesson. If it's good or bad, you're gonna figure it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it works. So that's just one of my mentalities. It's always been and it always will be. Like don't let it be a loss, be a lesson. You know. So throughout the journey, like everything was ups and down. Like sometimes I felt like I was by myself, but at the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm complaining, but then in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is part of it. I
Mm-hmm.
have to go through this. Um, and then with the business, within myself, as a whole, like family wise, we made so many sacrifices, and reality is like we kind of drew it out. We spoke about it, and I'm like, again, like at first, like the light is like so far, but now it's like it's in front of us almost.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I was going to not be at home as much as I wanted to, but I knew in the long run it would be the opposite. Because there were days people don't realize as a business owner, and it sucks. People think, oh, you get to do this or that, and you get to you're rich. That's the thing. Once you're an owner, people think you're rich. I don't know why. But for me, like there's some days I obviously we all live together, but none of you guys see me for like 3 or 4 days. I will wake up before you guys and I'll come home until like 10, 11 o'clock at night and nobody see me for days.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurt. It's not like that's what I wanted to do.
I cuss you out.
But again, I'm like, this is part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know it wasn't like a long, it's just temporary. It wasn't gonna be a long thing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was just for me. It was just a journey. It sucked. Sometimes I questioned everything, but I just kept pushing. And now it's like being able to see the sacrifices, put ourselves where we're at now. We're like steadier. We have more time to do more things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, this is exactly what we envisioned, and we kind of did it at the same time frame we wanted. It was like 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's just for me. I'm just now happy. Not saying I wasn't happy because I was, but like happy to see it all come together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it was. Anything else?
Hmm. No, I don't know. I don't have any more questions.
No,
No.
none at all.
You don't have anything else to say?
I can. I mean, I can go on. Um, I would say,
Oh, I got one.
yeah.
The people that you have in the shop now,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a difference, like the relationships you've built with them, and they're all very young, like they're a younger
Mm-hmm.
crowd. And I've noticed the guys in the shop, they have this spiritual bond going on when they're praying together, reading the Bible, all
Mm-hmm.
those things. And I've have that has that rubbed off on you in any way? Because I've noticed that you've been praying and reading the Bible and stuff like that more.
Um, it's funny, and I'll be like straight, blunt, and clear. We had a situation, right, a couple years ago, right, and I grew up. You grew up, in a Christian household. Um, Praying is like one of the things, right? And I was going through a very tough time. Like everything was going great, but there's just certain things that was making everything great feel like it was the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my things that I like to do is wake up at 5 in the morning and go walk the dog. And that part of it is like I go walk the dog, I pray, I meditate. I just time for myself, right? And I was going through this situation with the business. I'm like, God, like you gave me everything that I've asked for, but right now I'm just not happy with what's going on. Like it's really affecting not just the business side of things, but household things. You know what I mean? Relationship within my household. And I'm like, I don't care whatever needs to be, you know, it has to be gone out of my life. Like just make it happen. And within 30 days, things change, right? And what they were tough. A lot of stuff happened unexpectedly,
Mm-hmm.
and you know we had to shut down one shop, and we had to I almost had to almost restart unexpectedly, right? And it showed me a lot of things around me. But I would say one of the things that I was in that time when I was praying, I'm like, God, I want people around me that are, healthy spiritually, also, driven. I kind of just detailed everything that I wanted around me because I felt like what was around me wasn't healthy
Mm-hmm.
at that time, the reality of it. And everything changed. I trusted the men upstairs, and it's like crazy to see like exactly what I was praying for is in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I wouldn't say like how can I explain that to you now? I would say that having an atmosphere like that does change everything around you.
Mm-hmm.
My younger days, I'll be like, oh, that don't matter because it's me and I get to figure things out as I want it.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality, yeah, it does. It does. Like just having the bond now is way different. Um, I call them kids, because they're 18 to 21.
Mm-hmm.
And kids because they're just like, we opened up the shop at 22. You know what the heck we were doing. And just seeing it grow and having those type of energy around, yeah, it does help on a day-to-day basis on growing within yourself but around the right people around you.
Yeah.
So I would say that I know I'm giving you like a long
No, you're good.
around with this, but like I would say it helps with everything from just as a whole
Yeah.
life. It has helped life in general.
Yeah. And I asked that because I do notice that you come home with less weight.
Yeah.
Because I do understand, like, with certain people, certain things, clients, whatever, that you kind of take on the things that you guys talk about
Mm-hmm.
and you try to help and you're mentally trying to help figure out ways to help and do this or solve a problem, or now you're getting plagued with all these different problems. And this new group, this new team, I noticed that when you come home, it's a different weight. When you go into the shop, there's a different weight.
Yeah.
It's almost like God has, even though they're younger, He surrounded you with spiritual people who are almost, you guys are protecting each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the and don't get me wrong, like the first 3 to 5 years was great too,
Yeah.
right? And you grow and develop, and it was great people around as well as also was certain people. I'm like, dang, like how the heck that happened? But it's part of the business. That's
Hmm.
part of the journey and growing. But yeah, it's more like the vision from the beginning before we even open up a shop. I want to have a team atmosphere. Most everybody that's in there now has played a sport, so they know what team atmosphere is. Compared to before, I think only one person played sports, and that was me. So they didn't understand the aspect of that contributing
Hmm.
against each other, holding each other accountable, pushing each other. Now it's like, hey, pick up your slack. It's not personal. You know what I mean? Or they want to see, everybody wants to see themselves do good. That makes sense. And I think it makes everything easy when people genuinely see the right vision and understand the vision, you know, not just like, oh yeah, yeah, okay, cool, and then like really the actions don't,
Line up.
don't line up. So yeah, it's helped a lot. Oh, anything else?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
All right, guys. I want to thank Aleishea again for being here. Telling her story on the crazy madness of our journey with our business. I think it's been great, really.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, we had our ups and downs, but it put us in a great position, I feel like now and forever, and it's just helping us grow day to day. So thank you guys, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.